Afternoon, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome, yeah.
Yeah, welcome.
Love.
Welcome to our Equality Main Stage Keynote. We are here. My name is Alexandra Legend Siegel, and this is the notorious
Liam McGowan here.
who you've seen kill it on the stage in Mark's keynote.
Thank you.
It was amazing. Yes, round of applause. So we have a very special experience for you today. We are actually going to hear from some true equality trailblazers who are going to speak to us about how they are driving equality with art, activism, and impact.
That's amazing. I mean, it's actually been a pretty amazing day. Have you guys gone out and checked out some of the equality sessions? Yes.
You've seen it. Yes.
Taraji Henson,
Taraji.
hello. I mean,
Who's
yes.
that Taraji?
She was dropping amazing knowledge and talking about, telling her naysayers to kick rocks.
In those boots.
Yeah. Girl, they were killer.
Killing
and then that Molly Ford.
Where's Molly Ford?
Molly was amazing.
Ford.
Her sharing that amazing story.
You know, hearing Molly talk about how she came up with this idea, a seed of an idea for the Women's Leadership Summit over 2 years ago, and now look at all of this.
I know, this is an amazing place where she was actually took that idea and we've watched it grown. And then what a great platform where she has amazing allies.
Allies. And speaking of allies, the ally that she talked about who actually took her idea and helped empower her to turn it into the Women's Leadership Summit, now the Equality Summit, is actually here in the audience.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, you want to see her? You want to meet her?
I want to meet her. Where is this lady?
I think I see her over there.
Layla, give it up.
Hi, Layla.
Hi, how long? You're so tall.
I know. I'm sorry. Layla, you are a true equality trailblazer. On top of being the EVP of App Exchange, which is incredible, but we've all heard the story of you and how you went with Cindy Robbins to Mark, and you said, we need to address the gender wage gap. We need equal pay for equal work. What inspired you to do that? What inspires you to speak up for what you believe in?
Well, I think we've heard a lot of amazing people talking about this week, but when we think about what Michelle Obama said, if you're going up and your hand isn't back, reaching to bring people with you, you're not doing it right. So that's the way I was raised. That's certainly the way Mark has run the company and taught us to behave inside the company. So I want more money. Just kidding. But we saw a problem, and Cindy and I wanted to do more. We believed that doing more was important, and so we went, and he deserves major kudos. I don't know many CEOs that would have taken that in stride, and he not only took it, he stuck it in the ground and made it a mantra for our company. So I'm wicked proud of that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing that. And then, we heard before Taraji, Molly talked about how she saw you on a train, she showed you her slide deck of this big idea to bring the Women's Summit to Dreamforce, and you believed in her. What about it did you believe in? And, what do you think about all this now?
I'm so proud of all this. I think our whole company, I think our whole community is so proud of this. And Molly had a great idea. There's so many great ideas out there that are left on PowerPoints or unspoken because people are scared or don't think they can be taken. Wayne Gretzky said it, you miss every shot you don't take. When Molly said that to me, based on what Cindy and I were already talking about, it just felt like it came together, and then igniting her to do that was just a pleasure.
Awesome. And, we heard a lot today about authentic leadership, leading as your full authentic self. And I know you are someone who really champions this. We've heard you talk about this a lot. And most recently, you've been championing a new issue that's very important to you and your family. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I'm dyslexic. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, just based on my inability to sit still. But my kid has that. And so when he got that and I realized that, it became important to me to start talking about dyslexia in the workplace. We all work and learn and function differently. And Ebony Freelix is somewhere out there, yeah? She's dyslexic too. So we got fired up about this, and we're gonna start talking about this and make this normal. Talking about equal pay wasn't normal, and then we made it normal, so maybe we can make this normal too.
Excellent. And then, you're a great mentor to so many people, Molly, myself, and so many others. Why is mentorship so important to equality?
If we don't help each other go forward, we're all gonna be left behind.
Amen. Thank you, Layla.
Thank you, Allie.
All right, Leah, back to you.
Thank you. Well, I have with me Miss Alicia Hatch, CMO of Deloitte Digital. Thank you so much for being here.
It is great to be here. I mean, where else but Dreamforce do you gather around the campfire to hear from amazing
Exactly.
creators?
Well, tell me, most important thing, did you get your picture with Cody?
Oh, Cody and I, big hug before the session. Super excited. It's already been tweeted out.
He gave you a bear hug, bump. No, sorry. Listen, so diversity and inclusion clearly is a huge part of Deloitte Digital, and you've been a big part of playing it. So how are you implementing and how are you guys promoting diversity and inclusion at Deloitte Digital?
You know, with Deloitte, we love the numbers. There's a story in the numbers. We start with the numbers, and we've been first. We've been first on a lot of things. First, female CEO. First, minority CEO. First, female chairman. 2/3 of our professionals are minorities and women. We take the numbers seriously, but that's really only the starting point. It's what you do with those numbers and how you bring those thinkers together. Because it's not actually just about diversity, it's about inclusion. That's where you unlock the power of diversity.
Awesome. I mean, and you not have only unlocked the power of diversity and inclusion, I understand you're a huge champion for equal pay, gender equality. Now, research shows that diversity and inclusion is not just the right thing to do, but it's also the smart thing to do. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how that works for you?
Let's talk about smart.
Let's do it.
Diverse teams make better business decisions 87% of the time. It's tough to argue with that.
Those are numbers right there that you're talking about.
Those are numbers, you know, and I'm in advertising. We have been able, over the last year and a half, to measure the impact of stripping stereotypes and bias out of advertising. And guess what? Those ads drive consumer purchase intent up 26% amongst all consumers. It's smarter advertising, too.
That is smart. That really is. Now listen, you clearly are a equality trailblazer. Give me some advice, some tangible items that a company can do to start blazing trails in the equality world as well.
Drive to the heart of authenticity. To the authenticity of who you are as a company, who you are as a leader, and who those individuals are, because it is not about their gender, race, age, religion. That's only the beginning. It's the authenticity behind that. And as we each find our voice, our true voice, and celebrate that voice, we give others the power to do the same.
Thank you so much. Back to you, Allie. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. So we have an incredible equality trailblazer right here, Elisa Salas. She is the CEO of College Track. Elisa, thank you. Yes, it's a round of applause. Elisa, thank you so much for being here. And you know, today in the Equality Summit, we talk a lot about people's personal journeys. Can you tell us a little bit about your own story?
Sure. So my journey really started as a first-generation college graduate myself. So going through that journey, applying to schools, not having a lot of information myself, getting through, graduating, and then understanding how transformative it's been for my life in terms of opportunities and access that I have compared to my family and my peers. I wanted to make sure that that was available to every other student. So I became a teacher, a school leader, have worked in the districts, and then now work at College Track, which is a nonprofit that works with K-12 and higher ed.
Amazing. Well, thank you for all of the work that you're doing. And so I want to talk a little bit about College Track. I want to let everyone here know about the great work that you're doing. Can you tell us a little bit about your vision and how you're helping underserved communities?
Certainly. So the core belief at College Track is that every single student has the potential to change the world. And we want to be the organization that is not only finding that talent, but cultivating that talent over a long time. And so what really distinguishes us is that we make a 10-year promise to every single one of our students, where we support them at the beginning of 9th grade all the way through college graduation. Academically, social, emotional, financial, all of the systemic barriers that get in the way to college graduation. But more broadly, what we're really excited and interested in is making sure that every single student identifies their dream, their passion, their purpose, because that's where we really feel like they're going to add the most value to the world.
And speaking about dreams and dreamers, we've heard a lot this year about DACA. And so I want to ask you, how does DACA really impact our students?
So about 10% of college track students are undocumented, most of which would qualify for DACA. But the impact is much broader than that, as many of our students, even if they're not undocumented, might have family members that are, or friends or community. So the immediate impact, aside from kind of the messages that they're being sent about their value and the permanence that they might have in this country, is really kind of the legal barriers. So reprioritize for removal from this country and not being able to work. And so those are barriers that our students are facing that are very real and immediate and today. The great news is that College Track has been working with undocumented students long before DACA was even here, and we will continue to do that. And I have full faith in the resilience of the communities that we're serving.
And so I just want to end on this note, and that's, how does education really impact equality?
So there's two ways. I mean, the most immediate, I think, is seen on the individual. The way that we like to think about it at College Track is thinking about social mobility. So 80% of our college graduates are immediately making more money than the parents than before. But it's not just about money, it's about choices, it's about standard of living, quality of living, and opportunity. And I think even more broadly than that, in terms of the societal impact, it's about making sure that education is a pathway to power, and making sure that students will eventually become the folks, the leaders of our world that are representing us in government, in the corporate boardroom, nonprofit leadership. That's where I feel like we really make the difference in making a more equitable society.
Education is the pathway to power. That was, or the pathway to power? Yes, that was incredible. Yes, well, thank you so much for all that you're doing and for College Track. All right, Leah, you're up next.
Thanks, Allie. Well, continuing on the topic of College Track, I am honored to have with me an amazing College Track student and high school student. So tell us, Anthony, about your journey with College Track. Yeah, you got your fan club. Wave at them. Hey, so tell us a little bit about College Track and what that was like for you.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm honored to be here. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without the incredible support that I've been given. But my journey with College Track started off, I'm a first-generation college student. So awesome. From the beginning, I didn't have a lot of the resources a lot of the other kids had. So I wanted to make sure that I joined a program like College Track where my opportunity to get into a four-year university and be the first in my family to do so would become a reality. And College Track has so far been an incredible place. I've been given resources and met lots of different mentors and people who continue to inspire me every day.
This is amazing. And just hearing you speak and stand here so poised and eloquent, College Track, this is a great example of the great work they do. You were also a Salesforce intern with the amazing VetForce. Love that group. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so I got the pin right here.
I see.
You guys can see that. But yeah, the VetForce team, I jumped right in there, and I was a little bit intimidated. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little intimidated to walk in here, Salesforce corporate world, as a 17-year-old high school senior. But I come in here, and first thing I know is I was paired with an incredible manager. My manager and I had a really good relationship through work and outside of work, and I was just always inspired to do my best. And I knew that the work I was doing with VetForce was touching the lives of lots of other people, and being a part of that community and helping out that community, it was totally incredible, and it's definitely something I'm going to take away for the rest of my life.
Awesome. Now listen, you clearly are going to have infinite possibilities. I can just tell, I get that vibe. What do you see for yourself after high school?
After high school, since a really young age, I said I'm going to be an attorney when I grow up. But what kind of attorney? So I went home and I did a lot of research, and I decided that I want to be an intellectual property attorney. I think it's pretty cool to patent rights of different companies. So first thing I did was I met with a patent attorney here at Salesforce. Took a few notes off of him and his journey, and it's definitely a career goal that I want to shoot for. It's definitely something I'd like to do when I grow up.
You are absolutely, give this young man a round of applause. You know, people will sometimes say that, oh, our future generation, these young kids, you are an example of the greatness that is to come. I am so honored to be standing in front of you and having you share your story. I'm serious, just 17 years old talking to patent lawyers. I know when I was 17, I wasn't talking about a patent lawyer. This is just amazing. Continue to do the great work that you do. You know that you have the love and support of all behind you, and we're very honored. So thank you for being here, Anthony.
Super kind words. Thank you.
And it is my honor and privilege to bring to the stage Chief Equality Officer, Tony Profit. Give it up. We'll run down on this other side.
Welcome, everyone. Wow, that young man, that's why we're here. So amazing, so impressive, so poised. You think, that's a high school senior. That's super impressive. Let's give it up for Anthony one more time. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of the incredible talent that's coming from so many pathways into this company, but college track included. And Anthony, you're a great ambassador for college track, and I can't wait to see the things that you accomplish in the future. And so, are we enjoying the Equality Summit? Are you inspired? Okay, well, we're not done yet, because we've got an amazing experience in store for you. But I'd like to start by welcoming all the Equality Trailblazers. So many of you here in the room, and thousands, tens of thousands, watching online on the live stream. Welcome, Equality Trailblazers. Thank you. And here in the images, you can see just a few of the Equality Trailblazers that have inspired us over the last year. And it has been an unprecedented year. Let's take a brief look back, starting with the Women's March. Millions of people rising up in this nation to stand for the rights of women and girls. And I had the privilege, the honor, to participate here in San Francisco along with hundreds of thousands of other people. And I attended with my wife as an ally, and we brought our 7-year-old son to begin to teach him from an early age what it means to be an equality ally. And for those of you that were there, and I know many of you were, it started pouring down rain in the midst of the march in San Francisco. And I'm watching my Twitter feed, and I'm like, wait a minute, look. There's Mark. He's up ahead of us in the march. He's up ahead of us. He's up on Market Street somewhere, a couple blocks ahead of us. And you can tell that the Salesforce marketing department did not make that sign. Because Mark, the fonts, they're all wrong. There's no blue cloud, and it's not waterproof. But the messaging's right. Equal pay for equal work. And we stand with everyone fighting for gender equality. And we stand with people of all religions. We stand with people of all nations, standing on that principle that our immigration policy should be fair, they should be just, they should be equitable, they should be without discrimination. And for those young people here in this nation pursuing your education, dreaming of a brighter future, we stand with you. We stand with you. We stand with all dreamers. Now, unfortunately this year, we're once again reminded of that bitter lesson from history, how symbols of hatred and bigotry, we saw this in Charlottesville, inevitably lead to pain and suffering and ultimately violence. We stand against the hatred. We stand against the violence. But even in the darkest hour, we saw the healing power of love. Through this vigil, for example, at the University of Virginia, the healing power of love to light a path forward to an age of equality. An age of equality where love is love. Where love is love, from the Brandenburg Gate to the Golden Gate. And in case you missed it, marriage equality came to Germany this year. That is worthy of a round of applause. And Taiwan. So we are thrilled to partner and honored and privileged to partner with all of you, building workplaces, building communities, building a society at large where each of us can be our true, authentic self. Now, why is that important? What does that look like? Let's take a look in the words of some of my heroes here, equality heroes here at Salesforce.
Can you tell just by looking at me?
Can you tell just by looking at me?
So can you tell by looking at me that I'm an Iraq War vet?
Would you guess that I am a pro bodybuilder?
I'm an avid college basketball fan.
I love Bruce Lee films.
I am half redneck.
I used to be a chubby kid.
Would you have guessed that I'm a swimmer?
That I'm Catholic. I did not learn how to speak English until I was in 2nd grade.
Just by looking at me, you wouldn't know that I was the first in my immediate family to graduate high school.
So would you guess that I'm undocumented and then that I got a degree from Haas Business School?
Would you assume?
What many people assume is that I'm happy, but many people don't realize that I'm scared.
I'm afraid of being misunderstood.
We're all afraid of something. We're all insecure about something.
Yeah, I wake up every day with the fear of deportation.
Lots of us are just afraid of what we don't know.
Don't assume, ask what you don't know.
You don't know about Islam? Ask me questions. Won't offend me.
And if you ask me, I'm Filipino.
I'm Apache and Comanche.
I'm very much proud of my spirituality.
I am a she.
I am a he.
I'm straight.
I'm a lesbian.
I am a husband. I am trans.
I am a 3-time cancer survivor.
I'm Mexican Chinese. I'm gay.
I am a proud Muslim.
I am an ally.
I am an ally.
Not only am I an ally, I'm a champion.
My truth does not have to be someone else's truth, but they are still true.
So we're asking you to tell us who you are.
Be seen and be recognized.
Be part of a more diverse and more inclusive culture.
Help us move forward together.
Because together, we are Salesforce.
Juntos somos Salesforce.
We are Ohana.
And Salesforce welcomes all.
Can I hug you? Okay.